Good afternoon. Welcome to Cedar Lane Unitarian Universalist Church as we gather to celebrate Holi, the festival of colors and spring, celebrating the beauty of spring on this gorgeous day. It's as if nature conspired with us to give us a beautiful spring day. It's a celebration of brilliant colors, and in India, when we celebrate Holi, people rub colored powder on one another's faces gently. And we're going to practice that later today. Now, the Holi celebration comes at the end of winter on the third full moon, and Holi, which literally means burning, begins with a bonfire of wood and dried leaves as spring brings new leaves and flowers. There is a legend in the Hindu tradition that Krishna, the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, enjoyed playing pranks on village girls by soaking them in colors with water. We won't be doing that today. Today, the Holi Festival of Colors is a day of unity and diversity in India. Social distinctions on this day of age and youth, rich and poor, higher and lower caste, and social status are all abandoned with the leveling death of winter and the spring of new life, celebrated through this festival. There are many meanings and much significance attached to this day. For some, it is the festival of springtime, the heralding of warm weather, and bidding farewell to winter. For some, it is a festival of love, the rebirth of life. And the Hindu epics, the Puranas, describe Holi as a celebration of the victory of good over evil. Now, Holi, there are two meanings about Holi. One means that which has happened. Jo ho gaya Holi. So Holi is a time to acknowledge what has happened in our lives, what has passed, to let it go and move forward. So during Holi, we reflect, we introspect, and look back on the past year to see what has happened. We see it, we witness it, we acknowledge it, we try to take some lessons from it, and then we let it go. Because too frequently in life, we tend to hold on to things. We hold on to grudges, our anger, our pain, our jealousy, and sometimes this goes on for a long time. And sometimes we are bound by our own guilt over acts of commission or omission, that which we should have done but didn't do, etc., etc. So Holi is a time when we can let it all go, let that all burn away. And then there's the other side of Holi, which is to commit, make a commitment for the future. Since the past is past, we make a new pledge for the new us. And we do that intentionally. So today, as we celebrate Holi and also celebrate a regional new year from my part of the country, which is called Ugadi, which is our regional new year, we can look at the past with deep honesty and let it go with forgiveness, acceptance, and understanding, and make a pledge for the present and the future that we move forth toward with newness, new light, a new vision of unity and love. So welcome, friends, and a special welcome to our musical guest today, Tvameva, which is an awesome group that's based in D.C., and they have been doing some wonderful work all over the region. And joining us today, Arvind, who is our lead vocalist and a multi-instrumentalist, and Reese, who's also on the guitar and an instrumentalist, and also will be sharing a reflection, and Bennett on percussion and drums. Welcome. We're delighted to have you with us. And we begin, Arvind and I, with a sacred prayer from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which invites us to move from ignorance to wisdom, from untruth to truth, from mortality to immortality.
Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
As Chala, Asha, Nalini, and Devika come forward to kindle our chalice, the symbol of our shared faith, please rise in body and or in spirit to share the chalice lighting words printed in your order of celebration. If you will say those words with me. Lead us from untruth to truth, from the shadows into the light, and from mortality to immortality. We rededicate ourselves before this light to lead lives of generosity, compassion, and love, today and in the days to come.
Please be seated.
pani sa ri ga pani sa ri ga ri pani sa ri ga ri ni ri ga pa ga ri sa ni pa ga ri ga pani ga ri sa ni pa ga ri sa ri jala
Springtime, oh springtime, what is your essence? The lilt of a bulbul, the laugh of a rose, the dance of the dew on the wings of a moonbeam, the voice of the zephyr that sings as he goes, the hope of a bride or the dream of a maiden watching the petals of gladness unclose. Springtime, oh springtime, what is your secret? The bliss at the core of your magical mirth that quickens the pulse of the morning to wonder and hastens the seeds of all beauty to birth, that captures the heavens and conquers to blossom the roots of delight in the heart of the earth.
Nanda Govardhana Giridhara Govinda. Srivasanita Shri Kaustubhadara Bhavakabayahara Pahi Mukunda Govardhana Giridhara Govinda. Patita Suraripu Patavrinda Pavana Charita Paramrita Kanda Natya Rasotkada Nana Varana Narayana Tita Charana Govardhana Giridhara Govinda.
When talking about rebirth, first of all, hi, my name is Reese. Just want to introduce myself real quick. Thank you all so much for having us here tonight as Tvameva, as friends, as hopefully new parts of this beautiful community that we have before us right now. Community is something that I hold very near and dear, and is something that I think is one of the most difficult parts of our world today to hold on to. My family grew up partially, I grew up in the DC metro area with one side of my family in Washington State and another side of my family across the Atlantic, either in Europe or in Turkey. So we didn't have that kind of a community that an extended family provides. And as young children, my parents helped establish that sense of a greater love that surrounded us beyond our nuclear family by praying every night together. We would get together, we'd pray a little bit in Turkish, a little bit of English, bringing in different faiths and different ideas of prayer. And we would send love to all of our extended relatives specifically, all of our aunts, our uncles, our grandparents on both sides, our cousins. In doing so, we would name each of those people. So even though my sister and I, 2 years apart, maybe 4 and 6 years old or 6 and 8 years old, may not have seen these people enough to really remember their faces or who they were or what they felt like. We remembered their names, and our parents did a really beautiful job of informing us of those names and who these people were, so that when we would see them next summer vacation, we could just pick up and go. We knew exactly whose lap to jump into and who to give a kiss to before we ran off and played. As I got a little bit older, I felt like I needed more. There wasn't quite enough. And thankfully, through our school system, we were able to find those friends of ours, those playmates who really informed our new sense of community. And their parents were really kind people as well, who would invite us over for dinner. And I got to have some of the most delicious Italian food, Indian food, and French cuisine any 10-year-old could ever dream to have. And it's spoiled me for the rest of my life. Of course, my mother's Turkish food is the best, without a doubt. And then, got a little bit older and found that community dissipating, with some people going off to college, some people getting jobs, people finding significant others, having children. And I found myself at a loss for community. It was at this point music really helped save my life. saved me from making poor decisions, saved me from running around in the wrong crowds. It gave me something to do, something to occupy myself with. And in going to open mic nights, I started to meet fellow people who I wouldn't say at all were like-minded, but people who were also looking for a community. And we found one another. And in one of these communities, I found my special someone. And together, we have taken on the most difficult challenge that I've ever known, which is to start a community between just two people and to start our own form of understanding and loving and caring, and then sharing that with those that are nearest to us, and hopefully that proliferating into a greater world. I'd like to invoke an idea that my partner has used time and time again, which is that of fractals. And fractals are something, if you don't know, they might be microscopic, and as they grow, they look like themselves in albeit larger and grander scales. So on this day of Holi, when we speak of new birth and we speak of moving out of this really cold and frustratingly long winter, we're almost there, I think. We're almost there. Taking this idea that it all can really start with yourself and begin with this very first step of just owning what it is that you want to see in the world, and then sharing that with those closest to you. And as long as you hold tight to that, that's something that can grow beyond just yourself. Thank you.
Again, the violet bows to the lily. Again, the rose is tearing off her gown. The green ones have come from the other world, tipsy like the breeze, up to some new foolishness. Again, near the top of the mountain, the anemone's sweet features appear. The hyacinth speaks formally to the jasmine. Peace be with you. And peace to you, lad. Come walk with me in this meadow. Again, there are Sufis everywhere. The bud is shy, but the wind removes her veil suddenly. My friend! The friend is here like water in the stream, like a lotus in the water. The narcissus winks at the wisteria whenever you say. And the clove to the willow, you are the one I hope for. The willow replies, consider these chambers of mine yours. Welcome. The apple. Orange, why the frown? So that those who mean harm will not see my beauty. The ringdove comes asking, where is the friend? With one note, the nightingale indicates the rose. Again, the season of spring has come, and a spring source rises under everything, a moon sliding from the shadows. Many things must be left unsaid because it's late. But whatever conversation we haven't had tonight, we'll have tomorrow.
One day in spring, a woman came in my lonely woods in the lovely form of the beloved. Came to give to my songs melodies, to give to my dreams sweetness. Suddenly a wild wave broke over my heart's shores and drowned all language. To my lips no names came. She stood beneath the tree, turned, glanced at my face, made sad with pain, and with quick steps came and sat by me. Taking my hand in hers, she said, "You do not know me, nor I you. I wonder how this could be." I said, "We two shall build a bridge forever between two beings, each to the other unknown. This eager wonder is at the heart of things. The cry that is in my heart is also the cry of her heart. The thread with which she binds me binds her too. Her have I sought everywhere. Her have I worshipped within me. Hidden in that worship, she has sought me too. Crossing the wide oceans, she came to steal my heart. She forgot to return, having lost her own. Her own charms play traitor to her. She spreads her net, knowing not whether she will catch or be caught."
As we begin to settle into this space for meditation, let's be present to our bodies. So if you are comfortable and if it is natural to you, go ahead and just raise your hands and maybe just sway in your seat a little bit as you breathe in and out. And as you're breathing in and out comfortably, just allow your arms to float down, lower, until they rest comfortably at your sides. Maybe you can lift your shoulders, rolling them up and back as you exhale, releasing any stress, tension, or worry as you breathe naturally in and out. I invite you to find a comfortable place to sit, either in your chair, or it's okay if you want to slide onto the floor. Allowing your eyes to close naturally, or maybe even look at the beautiful chalice flame as you breathe in and breathe out. And since we're talking about spring, go ahead as you inhale, wiggle your toes. And when you exhale, imagine that roots grow out of your feet, right out of the soles of your feet, through layers of concrete and soil and water and rock, rooting you deeply in the earth that is just beginning to stir. And allow the earth to ground you.
Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva. Tvameva bandhuscha gurustvameva. Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva. Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Vande Padmakaram Prasannavadanam Saubhagyatam Bhagyatam Hastabhyam Abhayapradam Maniganer Nanavider Bhushitam Bhaktabhishtapaha pradam Harihara Brahmadibhisevitam Pashve Pankajashamka Padmanidibhir Yuktam Sada Shaktibin.
Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu.
Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah.
Sarve Santu Niramayah.
Sarve Santu Niramayah.
Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu.
Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu.
Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet.
Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Would you join us? Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all be whole. May all be peaceful. May all be fit for excellence. May all be filled with the holy. May all be happy. May all be peaceful. May no one suffer. And may this world be filled with peace, peace, eternal peace.
And if you haven't already, I invite you to imagine that the earth is being called up through the roots you created, that wonderful earth energy coming alive, moving up through the roots, through layers of soil and water and rock, through concrete, into the soles of your feet, new life and energy moving up through your feet and your ankles, through your knees, through your legs and hips, New life moving up your spine and through your torso. Take a nice deep breath in and feel that new life coming in through your shoulders, out through your hands. And then another breath, new life moving up through your throat, your head, and as you exhale, it moves out through the top of your head, in front of you, behind you, to the left, to the right, and all around you, pouring into the room, into the building and the world around you with every breath. May all feel renewed. I invite you to wiggle your fingers and toes as you come back fully into the room. What a joy it is to be together today to celebrate this springtime. We have created community with food, with wonderful music, with the gift of spirit-filled words. We have meditated together, and now we get to share our gifts. I'd like to invite you to make a love offering today to continue the great work of these spirit experiences. You can do so by placing coin or checks, if you like, with spirit experience written in the memo as the ushers come forward. You may also take out your phones and you can text to 73256. You can text CLUUC and just mention Spirit Experience. This wonderful love offering will now be gratefully received.
the many gifts that we bring and for the many gifts that we are, for all that we bring and share to create and sustain this beloved community of spirit. May we be grateful. I'd like to thank Tvameva, Arvind, Race, and Bennett for the wonderful music that seeks to blend East and West. It was particularly great to hear some men at work underneath a classical Carnatic raga. I really appreciated that. Thank you. That was just wonderful. And also would like to thank many members of the congregation who really helped put this all together. Of course, my colleagues Katie and Norman for their participation in the service, and Usha Charya, and Ariel Mora, and a whole bunch of volunteers who showed up to help with the wonderful and delicious refreshments that were brought by Raj. Thank you, Raj, for the samosas and the laddus. So thank you again for all your help and support to make this such a beautiful spirit experience. And now we get to the last piece before we have the actual program, which will be outside. And that piece is appropriately titled Gratitude.
Thank you all for being here on behalf of our social media manager, which is me, Grace, and Bennett, and all friends who are here, and all friends and family who are watching this on YouTube. This piece is called Gratitude. These moments are not even mine. If only Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.